Okay, I have an ASSA Twin V10 with barrel spools on the driver pins. Uh, this lock has 6 top pins. Each of those has a barrel spool with matched counter milling, and it has 5 sidebar pins with false gates. I'll show it all afterwards. And I did one of these before with gins, but with gin drivers on top. But I forgot to show the counter milling in the plug itself. So I'll probably be doing another one of those in the near future. I'll try to remind myself to show everything in this one. Let's see. What I'll do is start with the top pins, and there's like, you can go from the left side, but then you're dealing with all this warding. The pins are high enough, even the low cut ones, that you can just go from the right side of the thing and stay out of that kind of sidebar area. All right, the first one is springy. Second one's springy. Third one, springy. Fourth, little click maybe. 5 and 6. All right, so there we go. Click at the back on 6. What I'm going to do is I'm just trying to get them all into the counter milling. All right, I got a little bit of rotation from the core there, so that might get me started. I was just trying to get a little rotation so they start to bind. All right, the first one, I got to click out of that. And what I can check for here is, again, the jiggle. I got a little jiggle there. Tells me that this number 1 is no longer in the counter milling. Second one is binding hard, so I'll click that up and check to see if I got the jiggle. Kind of. That's a lot better. So I got another click out of it. Third one, click out of that. Check for the jiggle. I think that the counter milling on here might have more than one kind of serration looking thing. So maybe these pins, they click more than twice. But I think for the most part, they all click twice. All right. I think that's 5. I gotta be a little quiet when and concentrate, because the jiggle is very small. So I've been showing some locks with big jiggle. The jiggle on this is tiny. It's about that much. I guess, I don't know if I can do it like this. Let's see if I can get it on there. It's about that much. So it's not as, it's a lot less noticeable than the locks I've been doing so far. So just going through, make sure that these are all jiggling. You can kind of push pretty hard. And the reason I'm not float picking this is that the sidebar gives enough counter rotation and stops the actually the clockwise rotation of this from really setting these barrels very deep. So you can just kind of bully them out. So I'm hoping that I got it there. It feels like I got it. I'm gonna take a flag pick. This is a honest dongshi that's been ground down, and then I'm gonna go down these side pins. So I'll go down, and you can kind of drop into each one, and then you can lift. So that first one is springy, but it stops at one point. That one actually feels like it's okay, like it's in its true gate. Second one is binding pretty hard, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a click. Okay, now it feels springy, like it might be in its true gate. If it's binding hard, that generally is an indicator. All right, third one is springy. That it's generally an indicator that it's in a false gate. All right, I touched the bottom of the fourth one. I think that dropped into a false gate and gave me a little bit of rotation on the plug, and I bet that's going to make these things bind a bit harder and be harder to lift than they were now. So I'm going back to the beginning, and indeed the first one now feels not springy. So I'm going to actually see if I can get a click out of that one. I might have to let off the tension a little bit so I can get out of this false gate. There we go. So I got out of the false gate, and it feels springy now. Second one still feels good. Third one still feels good. Fourth one. Okay, so it's binding hard. There's no springiness there. So that's probably in a false gate. I'm going to let off tension a little. and lift that up. Okay, so now he's springy. And the fifth one, that feels binding, and now it feels springy. All right, let's go back to the beginning, see if we dropped anything. First one feels good. Second one feels like it's binding. I'll lift that up some. Okay, it feels good. Third one feels good. And by good, it's like that kind of springy feeling. Fourth one feels like it could be lifted more. There we go. And fifth one again. Fifth one feels like it could be lifted maybe a little bit more. So let's let off the tension some. Come on. I don't want to let off the tension too much. I start dropping stuff like I just did there. But you're going to get that. Unless you spend time figuring out your binding order, you're going to get drops like that. So I'm just going by feel here. All right, lift that fourth one up. Fifth one, can't quite tell. It doesn't feel quite set, but it doesn't feel like it's binding hard like a false gate. I'm going to go ahead and give it a lift. Unless I'm just not on it, because I'm dropping way back and I can't seem to lift it. So I'll come back up front again. Now this first one doesn't feel good anymore. I might want to check my top ones in a second, make sure I didn't drop any barrels out. First one is okay. Second one is okay. I feel like somebody's not in a gate right now. Fourth one and the fifth one. Somebody feels like they're not in a gate. Maybe. Nope. Alright, a little bit of rotation when I did that. Alright, so this first one doesn't feel good anymore. It needs to lift it a little more. Third one's okay. Fourth one. Okay. Fifth guy. Alright, come back to the front. I feel like I've gotten sloppy here. The first one feels like it might be overlifted actually. And fifth one. Getting stuck. Alright, so the first one feels overlifted, so let me go ahead and drop that down. I'll let off tension some. Let's see if I can't get it to fall. Probably fall, a bunch of things will drop. Alright, and since I did that, I'll just double check these tops. Okay. Feels like, yeah, I've lost something up top too. What have I lost up here? There we go, something. That got me into where I can start clicking at a counter milling. So that's 1 and 2. 1 again. 3. 5. Come back to beginning. Oops, that was just me falling off. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just me grinding warding and stuff. 6. Okay, back to the sidebar again. This front one didn't fall back down still. Okay. This could be, well, he feels okay now though. Second one lifted a little higher, feels good. Third one feels good. Fourth one gave me some, I dropped it into a false gate or something, gave me some rotation, so I'm let off a little to lift it. And fifth one I lifted up a little. Back to the beginning. First one, yeah, I think that's okay. Second one lifted up a little. Third one, okay. Fourth one, lifted up a little. Fifth one. Okay, I got a little rotation touching the fifth one. First one doesn't feel good anymore. Okay, got that up some. Feels better. So I got that springiness, so I feel like it's in a true gate. Second one needs to lift some more, I think. Okay, second one's good. double check that first one didn't fall. Feels okay, I think. Third one's okay. Fourth one, I think that needs to go more. Okay. Fifth one, oh, I lost my bearings there. So if I lose bearings, I just start again from the beginning. First one lifted a little bit. Second one's way up there. Third one's okay. Fourth one's way up there. And the fifth one, I don't know. The fifth one feels good. Let's compare it to the first one. Yeah, they both feel good. Second one, there we go. Oh, okay. So that took a little bit longer than I would have hoped, but it opens it open, right? So let's go ahead and zoom out and take this guy apart and turn on our autofocus and all that good stuff. Okay, I'll take that out of there and take that out of there. I have the key. I don't know if I demonstrated this at the beginning. There we go. So we'll use that to take it apart. So there's 2 screws on the back. Pinning tray. So when you take this out, the key will hold all the side pins in. You're going to want a follower to hold the drivers in, and you're going to want to catch the sidebar with your thumb or something like this. So you want to keep that from coming out. All right. So sidebar. I'll put the sidebar over here. Drop that out. It's got 2 springs. There's one of them. Here's the other one. Oop. Took a little bit of flight. All right. Now we'll go with the top pins. Oh, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip these around. Okay, so there's 6 pins. They're all pretty long in this one. Bottom pins. These don't matter. They're all the same. The sidebar pins, they're all the same shape. So the order is not important unless you went and instead of doing it the way I did it with just the feeling, if you actually went and you memorized your bind order to avoid some of that ping-ponging that I had, then you might want to put your pins back in the same direction so that they bind in the same order again, right? I'm not too worried because, like I said, you could just do it with feeling. You know, it takes a little bit longer, but in the end, it saves you from having to maybe progressive pin or any of that stuff, right? This way you can just kind of go at it, do it all with feeling, and you know, take these on blind. I have a few of these that I don't have keys for, and I was picking them blind because I didn't realize that they're actually all grub screwed up here because it was full of gunk and stuff like that. So that's good to know that the grub screws are up there. If you need to do some sort of progressive pinning or anything like that, you can have an easier time. Or if you don't have the key and you just want to take it apart and stuff. So the driver pins in here are all, like I said, all these barrel spools, and they are balanced, so they have different lengths depending on the key pin. So you'll want to match the key pin length up with the driver pin lengths. One more spring. Sorry. Okay. So there we got everything. So when you have barrel spools, you're going to have oh my gosh, my throat. You're gonna have milling like this. It kind of looks like a double lip. Let's just see. 1, indeed 2. So there's two rings in there. Okay. When I do the V10 again with the gins, I'll show you that the gins are just a single larger one, and I think it's not on every chamber, whereas here it's on every chamber. Pins themselves They're just standard key pins, and then they got these barrel driver pins. You can see they have like a lip on the top and bottom, and that's what catches in those the counter milling of the plug. The side pins are all the same. They have these false gates above and below the true gate, which is this deep piece here. And those true gates, or the false gates, have to fall into the sidebar, if I can pick it up, which has these lips inside here, and they have to fall into the true gate in order for the sidebar to retract. The sidebar has to retract it in order to clear this groove. So it rests in this groove, and when it can retract now, it can go into the circle area, right? There's nothing else special going on in here. This is a nice one. It's a Mogul cylinder, so nice and heavy from like a prison. In any case, that is the ASSA Twin V10 with barrel spools. Thanks.